This is How to Play Deception, which is a tabletop game for 4 to 12 players, ages 14 and up, and each game lasts 15 to 30 minutes. Deception is a fun game that's like a cross between Clue and Werewolf. When you open the box, you'll find 12 roll cards, which are slightly larger than the other cards, 200 clue cards with reddish-orange question marks on the back, 90 means cards with blue question marks on the back, 32 scene tiles, which includes 6 event tiles, which you should put aside for now. Those are used for advanced play. Then you'll find 11 badge tokens and 6 wooden bullet markers. To begin, deal 4 clue cards and 4 means cards to each player. The players should display their 8 cards face up in front of themselves with the text facing the other players. Now all players should take a moment to glance at all the other players' clue and means cards on the table. Now you'll take out roll cards equal to the number of players that you have. Each game must contain the murderer and the forensic scientist, and the rest can be investigators. Once the roll cards are dealt out, whoever received the forensic scientist card should reveal their identity, and they will act as the game master. They can discard their clue and means cards as they won't need them for this game. Each player, except for the forensic scientist, will receive 1 badge token. This token will indicate that the player has not yet attempted to solve the crime and should be clearly displayed in front of the player so everyone else knows who still has one. Whichever player received the role of murderer will now select the solution to the crime from their means of murder cards and their key evidence cards. Now the game begins, and the forensic scientist will announce, "Everyone close your eyes." Once all eyes are closed, the forensic scientist will announce, "Murderer, open your eyes." Then the murderer will indicate the key evidence and means of murder, so the forensic scientist now knows the solution to the crime. Next, the forensic scientist will announce, "Murderer, close your eyes." And then everyone can open your eyes. Now we enter the investigation. This is the main part of the game and is divided into 3 rounds. Each round consists of an evidence collection phase and a presentation phase. The game may end prematurely when any one of the investigators correctly identifies the key evidence and means of murder. Otherwise, the game ends after the 3rd round has concluded, and the phases occur in the following order. The forensic scientist will set aside the tiles entitled Location of the Crime and Cause of Death. Then they'll shuffle the remaining scene tiles face down to form a draw deck. Then the forensic scientist will select one of the set-aside Location of Crime tiles and draw 4 random scene tiles from the draw deck, and then displays these tiles together with the Cause of Death tile. The forensic scientist now places 1 bullet marker on top of each of the tiles, correlating to the evidence and means cards selected by the murderer. As soon as the first bullet is placed, the players may begin discussing. The forensic scientist can move as quickly or slowly as they choose. Once the final bullet is placed, the players are given a short amount of time for discussion. Then each player is given the opportunity to present their opinion about the crime. While one player is presenting, all other players must remain silent, unless a player wants to solve the crime. And they would do this by interjecting with, "I want to solve the crime." The player then hands in their badge token and then presents what they think the evidence and means of murder were. If they get both correct, the players and the forensic scientist win the game. However, if they get one or both of those cards wrong, the forensic scientist must just say no without any additional information, and the game continues. After all the players have presented their case, we then move to the 2nd round of evidence collection. The forensic scientist draws a new tile from the draw pile and replaces one of the previously used scene tiles by removing the bullet and moving that tile to the discard pile. Now they place the bullet onto the new tile, and gameplay continues. Each player presents their case once again, and any players who still have a badge token can at any time attempt to solve the crime. Then there's a 3rd round that works exactly like the 2nd round. If at any point in the game all of the players have used their badge tokens and not solved the crime, the game ends. And as soon as the final bullet is placed in the 3rd round, the game is over, whether or not there are badge tokens left. So don't wait too long to try to solve the crime. And that's how to play Deception.